Tell me these two aren't related. Tell me these two aren't related. Stop playing me, Nakaba. Tell me these two aren't related. They aren't related. How did you get into my house? Directly. I'm sorry, Mr. Nakaba. What? They're not related directly. If you hadn't run away last time, you would let me finish my sentence. Oh. Well, I called it. Before we open this review of Chapter 25 of Four Nights of the Apocalypse, please make sure and leave your own thoughts on the chapter in the comment section down below. Leave a like and subscribe if you haven't already. Also, make sure you hit that little notification bell so you don't miss out on any videos that come to the channel. Now, let's get into it. What's up, guys? I got a pencil here, and here we are to review Chapter 25 of Four Nights of the Apocalypse, known as The Thrilling Day in Kant. And honestly, I really like this chapter for a lot of reasons, actually. I love different parts of this chapter, and I feel like while this is still like pseudo sliding towards a bit more like fluff, I still do like it because, you know, I do enjoy me some slice of life anime with non-slice of life anime characters. And let's hop right into it. So we get to see that Hauser has woken up. My man has risen from his drunken stupor, and he does see people, and it's the gang, boys. He's like, huh, what's he doing here, dog? Like, he legit. And I guess it's just to establish what we can learn later on in the chapter. But I love how Hauser manages, like, it's story convenience, I know, but I love how, like, he sort of sensed his own family was nearby. Let's just say that. And we get to see they're all in Kant, and we get to see that the town of Kant is much more like a fort. Like, it seems to be stacked up. It reminds me a lot of Baste Dungeon, if y'all remember that from the original series. Like, it seems to have that big main tower, and then it has like a little town around it, or at least a town nearby. So I think that's very, very cool. I'm not sure if that's a direct callback, but at the same time, I still think it's very, very cool. And also now have questions to how Hauser got here, and I wonder how much lying Sin is doing, because Hauser could probably just fly. Maybe that's it, because he completely ignores the range, and he may have a teleport bead. He may just be able to like go to and from Leonis, because he still is the captain of the Holy Knights, or at least supposedly. But let's keep going. So we open up and we get to see that everyone is loving Kant for their own individual reasons, and loves all the items that they have to buy, all the different things that they're selling, and she thinks that's great. We get to see Nasian's up in a forge, and he's trying to look for some more medicine bottles, trying to get some glass work done. We get to see Donnie being a drunk, just like his uncle. Y'all read the chapter, don't get mad at me. But the thing is, we get to see Donnie being a drunk, and we do get to see Percival seeing his Goring, or like the one exercise that we know he used to do with his grandfather, which is very, very nice for him. And honestly, I was kind of hoping he'd participate, and he may still participate later, but still. And then we get to see that Sin is so annoying. Like, I love how Sin is definitely like the angry father who's not happy with his kids here, because like he is standing right next to Sylvan, and Sylvan like knows what's up. Like, he's looking down like, oh darn it, Sin's mad, we can't do this. And to be fair, I do like, it's like Sin calling them Hicks is something that I never really thought about, but I guess the only one who technically isn't a Hick by what we know of their backstory would be Donnie, because he's probably from Leonis, obviously. Well, we know he's from Leonis, considering what we learned at the end of the chapter. But at the same time, like, Anne lived in the small village of Sistana probably for her entire life. Percival lived up on Hutt's Finger for his entire life, and Nasian's lived in Echo Gorge his entire life. So to be fair, this is probably like the first town these people, I don't know why I repeat that 3 times, but this is the first town they're experiencing. And I'm glad to see that like they all have pretty wholesome reactions, except for Donnie, who probably has been to a town like this before and is just trying to get drunk. So we do get to see that everyone is going in for that well, no, not everyone. Sin takes the guys to go get themselves some lodging, some room, some place to stay. And they also get Sylvan a stable. Shouts to my boy Sylvan. So he is a permanent addition to the group, and Sin did not cook him yet. But the thing is, we get to see that Anne has all the money. She has all the cash money on her. And Sin, what was the plan here, buddy? What was the plan? What was the idea? What was the notarization, bro? I need to think of the logic here, dog. You are probably the most powerful being in the group, on the low, you and your forest friends, and you trusted Anne with the money. I know you thought, oh, she's rich and she grew up in a town. She must know how to spend money. But at the same time, she's rich and she grew up in a town as a nobleman's daughter. Of course, she's just going to spend the money. Like, I'm shocked that Sin is shocked. The fact that Anne spent all the money. Like, legitimately, wow. Sin, that wasn't the smartest play, bro. I'm not gonna lie. So when Anne comes back and we see her lugging this gigantic bag of junk, I'm not surprised that she spent it on everything. Like, she burnt all their money. And yeah, thank y'all for last week's chapter clarification. It is gold pieces, we do be balling and shot calling. Can I say that? Well, yeah, we do be balling and shot calling and Leonis, they got them gold pieces. And she bought a whole bunch of things. And to be fair, a lot of it's useless, at least in my mind. Lanterns, pointless in my mind. Can't wait for Nagaba to find some use for them. I love the Hawk Lantern though, and I wonder if that's just out of verse gag for us, or if Hawk and his species sort of has become a bit more renowned or something like that, because that's literally built like Hawk and Hawk Mama. That's not built like any other pig, at least from what I remember. However, we do get to see that not only that, she got them blankets, which I guess prepares for the crossing of the canyon or something. I guess you can kind of let the blanket slide. If you can kind of let the lantern slide too. Now that I'm thinking about it, because they are gonna be crossing a mountain range. You never know if it's gonna get dark. You never know if you're gonna need some light. I guess I can let it slide a little bit, the blankets, even though they all smell weird. And yeah, overall it's kind of whack. And the thing is, did they all forget that they elected her the leader that quickly? I know they completely ignored her because Sin was the leader, but Sin gave up the money. So I'm assuming he forfeited his leader role. This is kind of a weird interaction. They're all shocked. They call her, they're all shocked she calls them her crew, even though that's apparently what y'all rocking with, because you gave her the money and you let her run off on her own with it. And bada bing, bada boom. I do kind of like the new drip. I think the new drip looks good on Donnie and Nasians. Nasians without his hat is kind of looks like King again. This just it just looks like King with Diane's hair color, or hair color retrospective. Diane's hair color fit to the manga coloration, where it's just black and white. So I don't know. Well, no, I do know. I know he's not. He's apparently human, so we don't have to worry about that. The only drip I'm not really rocking with is Percival's. I feel like the little onesie he's wearing, I'm just not rocking with it. But that may just be me. Donnie's drip though, shoot, I'd wear that coat. I'm not even gonna lie. But and the thing is, she calls those cast-offs, and I guess I can see that because Percival's onesie looks a lot more formal, and Nasian's just has the new coat, the new vest, the new shoes. He even got the hybrid socks. I'm talking Ben 10. But regardless of that, we do get to see that for Sin, who was looking mad annoyed, he's got him a little cape, a kid's cape, and I don't know, I found it funny. But then we get to see that Sin's Sin's definitely trying to maintain control here. He's yo, this is fantastic, dog. But we have money left, right? And all is left is 3 whole silver. And Sin just snaps, bro. He's how did you spend 10 gold pieces, dog? We get some relative cost for how much gold pieces is in 7 Deadly Sins, which I don't think we ever got. We get to see that with 10 gold pieces, you could have bought a fully furnished house. And I ask you once again, Sin, what was the logic? What was the game plan? What was the reasoning for giving Anne the money? But regardless of that, we get to see that Anne is fine, whatever. I'll do whatever I can to get the money back. After Sin just roasts her, what sorry excuse for a leader you are. We're all camping outside. And she just goes off with Percival to go get the money back. And we get to see that Donnie has decided to go and get drunk. At least that's what it seems like. And Sin walks away. Y'all, I know y'all trust Sin because y'all don't really have many other options. But at the same time, y'all don't wonder where this man goes? Y'all don't wonder where this man what this man does, what this fox does? He just gonna go speak with the forest friend? This dude's so, is he gonna go mug somebody for more gold? Is that what's gonna happen here? Y'all trust this man way too much, especially considering he's not even a man. He's a beast to y'all, a talking beast. I would not trust a talking fox, even if it did save my life. But regardless of that, we get to see that while Donnie goes into this establishment that's meant for adults, and thank you to y'all, it is Giant's Fall, which is actually a pretty cool joke. I guess it's supposed to be oh, you can drink so much liquor here, a giant will fall over. So it's just very, very cool. But then we get to see that Donnie's come on now, Nasians, don't be square, dog. Let's get drunk. He does get Nasian the milk, though. And then we get to see that Yo, I try to say menace and beast at the same time. This menacing beast walks up to them, and as Donnie's like getting his drink and he has his little money, which I have no idea where he got that from. Maybe it's just his leftover money. But we hear kids drinking ale in the afternoon, huh? Well, ain't you fancy? Leave me be, old man. I don't gotta be lectured by something. Then we get to see Hauser. Okay, here's the thing. Last chapter, I low-key complained that, not low-key, I just flat out did complain that Hauser didn't really change that much. He just got some stubble on him. But honestly, I feel like what Nakaba's doing, if he isn't planning to redesign our previous series characters so much, I feel like he's just changing our perception of the characters relative to this new series. Because while at first I didn't like that Arthur's design didn't change too much, only the clothes changed, the way his demeanor has shifted, super interesting to me. I like that. The way that Hauser's design hasn't changed much outside some stubble. He's still wearing the exact same clothes from the last series, but the little bit of stubble and how he's being portrayed here, like Hauser feels larger than life. He feels a lot more present. He has a much more like heavy feeling compared to what he did last chapter. That's probably due, not last chapter, but even last series, probably due to the legacy he has now in our minds as a Seven Deadly Sins character and how he compares to our main cast right now. These kids, like Hauser is the first like beefy dude we've seen in all of Four Knights right now, like except for like Pelgard himself. Even Ironside was on the skinnier side. Meanwhile, we get to see this big, like Hauser's biceps are bigger than Donnie's head, to put it into perspective. Like that's how massive this dude is. And I love how like it's weird seeing Hauser depressed. I'm not gonna lie, we've seen him like sad, but it's always been taken as a joke. But we get to see that like Hauser just seems so out of it. Like he's actually sad, and he's like he seems so disappointed in Donnie too. Like he literally brings up the fact that Donnie left Leonis and his Holy Knight training, something that he apparently wants to be, as we know from a few chapters ago. Donnie does want to be some sort of Holy Knight kind of character, and we do get to see that he's so disappointed. He's like, you're taking a break from being a circus freak, or is drinking part of that now too? Like he's so disappointed, and we get to find out that Hauser had a sister. Now I'm not gonna lie, well, Donnie is the son of Hauser's dead sister. But hold on, I'm not gonna lie. Did Hauser ever have a sister? Am I tripping? Did I miss that? Like, huh? Like, bro, I legit checked I literally thought maybe I missed Hauser's sister in like that one. Hold on, maybe I did. I can't think of anything though. I cannot think of any time that Hauser was mentioned to have a sister. Even in that one chat. Hold on, I'm gonna be right back. Yeah, even in chapter 197 where we see a lot of Hauser's family, we do not see a sister. So I'm not sure if this is just Nagaba being like, yo, what if I would just make a dead sister and decide to do it? Or like if I just missed something, like maybe I am just missing something. I don't know. But regardless, I'm happy that there's like some more meat to this bone, some more backstory. I like it because this makes Hauser like just a lot sadder of a character. Like I thought Hauser was depressed because he had no women in his life. But no, Hauser's depressed because he lost his sister, and his nephew is just going on being a child drunkard. Like I feel bad for him now. Like this completely shifted the entire view of Hauser that I had it pre-established for like going on years now, considering how long I've known Hauser in the context of Seven Deadly Sins. So I'm actually very, very impressed, and it's once again super interesting to hear that Hauser is still the captain of the Holy Knights, but he's all the way out here. And unless Sin is lying and they don't have to cross that mountain range at all, he was just capping to like try and make them stronger. I feel like Hauser is like the key to exporting our lift to Leonis. Like he may have a teleportation bead, he may have the ability to just fly over the mountain range. Like there's so many things that Hauser could do now that he's here, especially since he's angry at Donnie. So like he could instantly be, oh, yo, imagine he splits the group up, like he grabs Donnie and says, we're going home. And Donnie's like, wait, no, Uncle Hauser, please. And then they just vanish out of there, or just fly out of there, and then we're left with the group of Nasians and Percival and Sin. Like I don't know, that'd be kind of cool. But at the same time, we do hop right back to the Goring matches. We have to see that Anne bets on the right guy, the smaller, skinnier dude who instantly body bags the champion. Like, and to be fair, the smaller, skinny dude, he got them skills, bro. He hit him with the and then hit him with the bam, like straight flipped the champion over, slammed his head directly into the ground, and we'd never see the champion again. Like that man, it looks like he got his neck snapped. I'm not even gonna lie. And then we get to see that the proceeds that came off the betting of the match a lot of it went to Anne and Percival, but y'all are kind of throwing them coins around like nothing. Like, y'all got to keep that in pocket. Like, y'all, those are some full-grown adults who do not know the scope of your abilities. So, like, y'all probably gonna have to fight for that. Y'all better hide them coins. Come on now, dog. And we get to see that Anne is prepared to make a mint off this challenger dude because he's lying about something, or he's hiding secrets, something along those lines. And it's interesting to see Anne use her ability in this way. Like, I never figured Anne would, but I'm happy she's, like, abusing it in ways that it can be abused. And then suddenly, we get to see that the marks split into two groups, boss. How's the Holy Knight? He's talking with one of the marks at the bar, but he'll pass out from the drink soon. Who are these people? Are these more of Arthur's people? Like, I don't know. This seems kind of weird. I guess maybe Kant is just like a drug dealer town. Like, I don't know what's happening. This is a very interesting place to leave off the chapter, because to be fair, like, while a lot happens, the gang gets some new drip. We arrive in Kant, we get to see all the different facilities of Kant, and we get to get Hauser and Donnie's interaction and this whole new awkward situation for poor Nosians, who's sweating staring at this gigantic Holy Knight who's glaring down at his nephew. They're also like marks, and they're under the attack or something like that. And the thing that's interesting to note is that this group of whoever they are, this shady person in the shadows and darkness, doesn't know about sin, or at least doesn't seem to know about sin as like a sentient being, and not just a sentient speaking being, and not just an animal. Because the guy specifically says the marks are split into two groups. So it's the Donnie and Percival, not the Donnie and Percival, the Donnie and Nosians group, and the Percival and Anne group. Like, those are the only two groups. We don't know where sin is. Probably talking with the Forest Friends, aka the rest of the Seven Deadly Sins. No, I'm kidding. But essentially, this chapter is once again more and more setup, but I do like this setup a lot, mainly because it, once again, it gives our characters new drip. It shows off a new part of Leonis, or not Leonis. It shows off a new part of Britannia, which is always cool to see. I like the idea of Kant, the look of Kant. I like the new, once again, I still really like this new group dynamic between the gang. I love how we're getting to see their powers being used in an interesting way, at least in the case of Anne. I like how we do get to see how Sin can still make mistakes. He's not the perfect, like, I see all things coming. Like, he didn't predict Anne being a rich person, like spending all their money immediately. It's cool to see all these new dynamics being set up, being interacted, and it's cool to see the recontextualization of Hauser as a character through a much sadder and more painful lens. All around, very, very cool. Another thing I have to note is that Donnie's still carrying around Dragon Handle like it's his sword, and I just find that cool. I hope he just doesn't get, like, just don't lay it down anywhere, Donnie, please. Like, I see you have it on the table, and I think he never picks it back up. Did he ever pick it back up? I don't think he ever picks it back up. I think it's just still on the table by the end of the chapter. So please do not forget that, Donnie. Please don't. But regardless of that, very, very good chapter. Super duper solid. I give it a nice, meaty, I'd say 8 out of 10. I do think that while it is good for Sin's character that he made a mistake, I still don't like how mysterious that boy is for, like, no real reason. I don't like how no one's questioning him still to this day. And while it is kind of stereotypical for the rich girl to spend all their money without a care in the world, I do like how Anne's trying to get it back. But still, it's just like some little cliches and little nitpicks in this chapter are what make me drop it down to an 8. However, but then again, I may just have to raise it back up to a 9 or a 10 just for the recontextualization of Hauser alone. That's really, really cool. But that's just me. Please tell me what you guys think about this chapter in the comment section down below. Thank you guys so much for watching. Please remember to like, share, comment, and subscribe. And I hope you guys have a wonderful day. This is That Guy with a Pencil, writing off.